little dumpster fire babies. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope that your day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. I would love for you to join the dumpster fire family. You can do so by hitting that subscribe button, clicking the little bell to be notified of all my future uploads. If you all enjoyed this video, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to go follow me over on Instagram, and let's go ahead and let's dive on into today's video, which is testing out a ton of new makeup. I have been collecting makeup for a while now, but I have been sick. So sick. I've had a cough for 6 weeks now. Literally nothing else. No stuffiness, no headache, no fever, no chills, no loss of taste or smell. Literally just a cough. So originally I went and got tested to make sure it wasn't like COVID or anything like that. It wasn't COVID, RSV, the flu, adenovirus, enterovirus, rhinovirus, none of that stuff. So then they were just like, oh, it's probably something else that's viral. You just have to wait it out. Finally, after 4 weeks of having this cough and it being just like awful, I went to urgent care. And they were like, well, we think you have bronchitis. So here's an antibiotic, here's 2 inhalers, here's some cough medicine. It has not gotten any better. It has not gotten any better. So I finally went to the emergency room yesterday, and it turns out I have pneumonia and my left lung is infiltrated. So, we're going to try to make it through this video with me being short of breath and coughing. But we're going to get through. So, we have some cool stuff to try. Again, I've been like collecting stuff. So, first and foremost, I've got a couple of things from SheGlam. I finally placed an order with them. I've never ever placed an order with anything SheGlam. Let me make sure I have everything SheGlam with me. So with SheGlam, we have a highlighter. This is a Moonside highlighter. We have 2 lip options. It's like a duo lip. So you have like a liner on one end and a lipstick. And then we have from SheGlam as well. It's the Skinfinite Hydrating Foundation. It looks really yellow. I hope it's not really yellow. I really hope it's not. And then we have the SheGlam Sun Sculpt Liquid Contour. So really excited for those. And then just other random stuff that's been thrown in is I found this like Wet n Wild, the Twinkle little star that I had never ever tried anything out of. So I wanted to try this setting spray. This is a glow face mist. From Nabla, I picked up their new baking and setting powder. I picked up a Persona blush stick. This is the one that's like supposed to be like the Dior blush. I have a Nabla eyeliner. This is in the shade Black. I have the Iconic London. This is the Underglow Blurring Primer. Also from Nabla is the Radiant Serum Primer. Then I have this like Brow Stylist. I don't know if I've ever used this from L'Oreal, truthfully, especially in like the shade that like I'm supposed to be in before. I don't think I have. And then we have from Give Me Glow, the Haunted Pumpkin palette. I'm so excited to try this. They had a huge Black Friday sale. We'll get into that when we're starting with the palette, but that's the only thing that's come to me. But let's go ahead and let's start diving in. Alright, so I like to start off with my eyes first. I have primed my eyes with my Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer. This thing is almost done. But from Give Me Glow, so we have the Haunted Pumpkin palette. I'm so excited for this. They released this on Black Friday. They also released some lip kits. They released a Fiesta bundle. And I think that's it. But the site was really messed up. Like I could only get like the Haunted Pumpkin and the Fiesta bundle at first. So I did pick those up. I will be demonstrating the Fiesta bundle in another episode or another show. Oh my God, why am I acting like I'm on a TV show? In another video. Wow. And then I purchased all 22 of the lip kits. So those are still on the way to me. And then I did purchase like some other things like I already have. Like I purchased like more brushes and just like things like that. So waiting for those to get here. But we do have this really cute palette. It's definitely like a Halloween palette, but they weren't going to be able to get everything out in time, so they launched it with Black Friday. So this is their first ever palette where they have square pans. A lot of the times they just go with regular like round pans that has a nice mirror in it. All of the shades have this really cute like jack-o'-lantern embossing. It comes with 10 shades, and you have 3 shimmers and 7 mattes. So I have went ahead and we have swatched them. So we're going to go over the swatches. So first up right here is going to be Starless and Somber. It's kind of like a peachy brown. Then we have Do Not Carve. This is a very like cool toned dark brown. Our first shimmer is called Pumpkin Possession. This is, on camera it looks a little bit lighter. It's definitely a little bit more deep. It's like a deep reddish orange. Then we have Rotten. This is kind of a seafoam green type of shade. Last up for this is Hail to the Pumpkin King. And this is a very terracotta type brown. Moving on to the next is we have, Do You Hear That? So this is kind of a bluish teal type of shimmer. We have Midnight Mist. This is kind of more of like a minty type of green. We have Follow My Shadow. This is more of like a neon type orange. We have Moon Magic. This is a cool tone light brown. We have a cool tone dark brown. This is kind of a more of a cool tone light brown. And then last up is Urban Legend, which is like a bronze with some silver kind of sparkles in it. So there's a lot of different directions I could go with this palette. I could go more orange. I could go more neutral. And then I could do like a greeny blue. I am going to do something where it's like orange but neutral at the same time. I do have quite a few like important things that I'm doing today at work. So I definitely want to do something a little bit more neutral. So we're going to start off with the shade right here. This is called Starless and Somber. And I'm just going to pick that up on a brush. It does have a little bit of kick up in the pan. It's not atrocious or anything. I'm going to start blending this on. It automatically, you know, has some good pigmentation. It's really blending nicely. It's definitely like the Give Me Glow quality where the mattes are nice and soft and buttery, but also still pigmented at the same time. So I, of course, am going to want to build this up just a little bit, but so I now want to move on into this one right here called Hail to the Pumpkin King. I'm all for a pumpkin Halloween palette having like Hail to the Pumpkin King for the Nightmare Before Christmas. Can't tell me nothing. Again, there was a lot less kick up in this pan than there was the very first shade. And again, it just comes out, it's really nice, it's really pigmented, it's blending easily, like these shades literally just like blend together. Like it's not even, you know, like they're meant to be together. Like you would put a peanut butter and jelly sandwich together, right? Or like a peanut butter and banana sandwich. They just go, they just mix. For the outer corner, I'm going to go into the shade right here called Do Not Carve. And put that on the outer corner. Again, it has a little bit of kick up in the pan. Not atrocious. So far as I'm like trying to look closely in my mirror to make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't have any, I don't have any fallout on the face anywhere. So that's good. And again, they're very, very pigmented. They're very buttery. They're very soft. They definitely play well together. You know, they don't look muddy or patchy. They just really just go well together, just blend nicely. Easy to build up. It's just a lot. But I really like just how like nice and neutral this is. So now it's time to choose a shimmer. Okay, I don't care for that one. I think I'm going to go with Urban Legend, which is kind of more of like this really pretty, like, I don't know, like a champagne, bronze, gold kind of color. So pretty. Give Me Glow shimmers are some of my absolute favorite that you can get in the market. Like, they just are so good and intense. Alright, so now we're going to move on into the priming of the face. So I have put both primers on the back of my hand. So this right here is the Nabla. As you can tell, it is very radiant. It is very glowy. This is kind of what the bottle looks like. When it comes out originally, it is very much a like orangish type of shade. Definitely has some like glitter in it. I will say that you can kind of notice the glitter on the hand, but honestly, it's really not that bad. It's really not that bad, especially if you're gonna go over with like a foundation. The one next to it, this is the one from Iconic London. This is their blurring primer. So it does lay down a little bit more matte. It definitely comes out radiant at first. So I was nervous that we were going to have like two separate radiant primers. No, this one definitely does kind of, you can still see the shine really well from the Nabla, but like over here, not so much. And I think it does like a really, so far on like the back of my hand, it seems to definitely kind of be a little bit more smoothing, but we're definitely going to go ahead and test these out. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to shake them up. Just, I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but I'm going to shake them up just in case. And I'm going to pump a little bit onto my fingers. So again, it's like that orangish, pinky peach. And I'm just going to start like just applying this all over the face. And mostly focusing it on like the cheeks and like the perimeter because most of my texture is in the middle. So, I mean, as you can tell, really, really glowy. Like we are glowing, maybe even hoeing, just depends on the day of the week, really. And so, all right, so then we're going to go ahead and we're going to try this Iconic London. Now, they released this at the same time that they did their skin tint. I love their skin tint. It's a very good product. I love using that. Okay, so this comes out kind of like a little bit of like a nudish type color. And I like to focus it. Let's see if we can get like up close and watch. See how it works. But see how it kind of comes out a little bit like radiant at first. Really want to focus it here. So I have a lot of pores right there and on my nose. Just a little bit right here. So right in here are where all of my pores are. So, okay. Again, it's still just looking very radiant. I'm going to give it, I think it took like a solid minute for it to really set down. So I'm going to allow that to happen. I think it's already starting to kind of set, but you can still see my pores pretty significantly. I'm going to wait, let it set, and see what it looks like after. All right, so this has sat down for a few minutes now. It definitely still looks a little bit radiant, especially like in here, but it doesn't feel radiant or hydrating. I will say, you know, I can definitely see where it smooths some, but I have other ones that I do like more. So like really good ones would be like the Hourglass, the Glow Wish one is fantastic, and the Winky Lux. Top three for me are those three to really like smooth over like your pores. So I actually have a little bit of the Winky Lux just like right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little bit of this on over so we can just kind of see like how good, like, do you see how good that is? I'm going to put a little bit like right here. I mean, it just looks so good. Like right in here. Right? Like, do you see that? It's just so blurring. Just like right. So good. It's so good. So I would definitely say like the Winky Lux, the one from Glow Wish is good. I can't believe I'm like making my way through this quickly. And the Hourglass ones are definitely like my top favorites. So yeah, I mean, it just smooths over just so much better. So, okay. So now up next is going to be this from She Glam. This is the Skinfinite Hydrating Foundation. This looks yellow and dark. So let's, okay. Oh, well, never mind. It's not really that dark. This is in the shade Porcelain. It is still slightly like a little bit yellow. But again, it does have like that hydration. Like you can definitely see the glow and the hydration of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pump a little bit onto the back of my hand. I've got one pump. I'm then going to take my sponge. I'm just going to dabble onto the back of my hand and then start pressing this into the face. And we'll see kind of how things go here. It's covering the areas nicely. Right now that one pump is definitely covering like the whole entire lower part. I'm not sure how much it's gonna cover the forehead though. May have to do another pump. Okay, hold on. Now that I got okay, Carrington, the mirror definitely needed to blend a little bit more seamlessly. Okay, I think I'm gonna need just like a tiny little pump more, like literally such a tiny amount. Take that and then start focusing this on my forehead. Okay, so far this is playing really well with the products that we use to prime the face. Like, it's looking really good. It provides a pretty medium type of coverage. I can still see just a trace amount of my redness, but it's not awful, it's not atrocious or anything like that. So this is what it's looking like. It looks pretty good. Like, it's like really just like sinking in. I do have texture and stuff, so, and I don't use filters, so this is what we're looking like. But it just continues to be really glowy, and I'm here for that. I am back. I literally thought I was filming. I was not. So I have some product on my face, but this is the She Glam Soft Sculpt Liquid Contour. I have mine in soft tan. This is very cool toned, almost gray. So I'm just going to take my sponge and start stippling this in. Wow. Wow, that blends out so nicely. Like, wow, that's like effortless. Like, hello. Like, ma'am, welcome to the jungle. We have fun and games. And this is fun. Like, whenever you try new products, you never know what you're gonna get. You never know, like, the quality that you're gonna get. So, you know, okay, so I will say it does kind of, does look a little bit sculpted. I don't necessarily know that that's as deep as I want it to go. So I'm gonna try to layer this up again. See if we can make it just a little bit darker. But we'll find out. We'll see. But interesting. This definitely is like very cool toned type of color. Okay. So one thing about this is, like, it does, I mean, these blend like a dream. Again, I'm like the fairest of the fair. Like, that's just how it is. I don't know what to say. But this, definitely is really good and cool. I'm actually kind of a fan of like how cool it is. But it does take some building and layering. But if you're okay with that, just to get like such good and such easy, like cream contour, you're gonna love this. I already like this. Okay, next up is going to be the Persona. This is a blush stick. This is in the shade Bubble. I do think that they have a what is it called? Like a powder, like a powder blush. I think also in the shade Bubble that I think is supposed to be like complementary to this. I have not picked that up. I think it's been out of stock every time that I have looked. I obviously haven't looked like a ton, but every time that I have, ooh, okay. So this is like a very like purpley pink type of blush. So I have a little bit here on the back of my hand. I'm just gonna take my sponge, start picking this up. What I think really goes with this super well is that it's cool toned as well, which is the same as kind of like the contour that we have going on. So I think that goes well. I do need to put some more on the back of my hand. So this is a little bit more sheer than I was expecting. I'm not really for sure what I was expecting. So if you're like this type of color would be like super, I don't know, like intimidating to you, or you think that it would be really intimidating, I think this would be a really good blush formula to start with, because again, like this is my 4th time having to like trace on the product to get it on both 2 cheeks. So again, if you're like really nervous about colors like this, or like cream blushes, I think this will be a great formula to start with, just because it's definitely more sheer and you have the ability to build it up, but you also have the ability to tone it down a lot if need be as well. So to set the face, we have this from Nabla. This is the Close-Up Baking and Setting Powder. This is in the shade, I want to say, is this translucent? Setting powder. Yes, translucent. So I'm excited to see how this goes. It's going to take a minute to get some powder out, I can tell. So one thing I will say about this powder is it doesn't come out super smooth. In a way, it almost kind of reminds me like I'm getting ready to eat some Dippin' Dots. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm just going to take a little bit at a time, right? Just kind of take a little bit in the center, and I'm going to start beating the excess off because I have dry skin, so we don't need a ton of powder on the brush. And I'm just going to start stippling this over my face. And I'm going to take a little bit more, just a little bit at a time, and then off with the powder. Off with the powder! If you have more oily skin and you need a lot more powder, you know, you probably won't have to really tap off as much as I did, but I have very dry skin, so I don't need a ton of powder. So I'm just kind of going over, stippling everything, making sure it looks okay, making sure the under eyes are good and set. So we still have quite a bit of powder left over, but let's see. This is what everything is looking like. I think it looks really good. I don't have any complaints about it. Really did set down my makeup. Okay, I'm not feeling any stickiness. I'm not feeling any tackiness. I don't feel it looks cakey or heavy, even including underneath the eyes, which is one of the places I get the cakiest and heaviest. Depending on the concealer, sometimes I will not even put on a powder underneath my eyes with the concealer, just depending on what it is. I have a hair in my face. Also, if you hear like, I have my wood candle going, so that's what that is. But so far, I'm pretty impressed. I will say though, the cheek products, once I sat it with powder, really lost the color. So I would say with these products, these would be great products like the She Glam, Contour, and like the Persona, where if you're just wanting to do very cream-like makeup and not set it, like maybe just setting your under eyes, I think those would be great products for that. If you're needing to set your face, but you don't want to have to go over it with like another bronzer or a blush, these aren't going to be those products. You're going to want something a lot more pigmented than these. Okay, so I'm now ready to go ahead. I want to do the lower lash line first. So I am just going to do basically the exact same thing I did on top. So we're going to start with Starless and Somber, and we are just going to start smoking this out underneath the lower lash line. Here's like, we're going to start with like this this basic shade, and then I have that Cupid's arrow, and that's a black. I'm not necessarily, because it's kind of chubby, so I don't know how much room or space it's going to take up, and I don't know if I'll need to like smoke anything out with it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take this. You know what? Somebody said, am I nuts? Okay. Okay, maybe I am nuts. That you could use these for both your lips and your eyes. I feel like that would be super unsanitary, but I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, yes, that is pigmented. Holy mother bear. That is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm just going to take that and I'm just going to start seeing what happens when I smudge it with a brush. So yeah, it does smudge out nicely. I honestly don't think after this that I really need to go in with any other colors from the palette. Like I think this goes great. This is perfect. It's very like dark Halloween-esque. Am I here for this? I'm here for this. You know what? I'm here for this. Okay. So then we have a highlighting option, which is also from She Glam, and this is called the Moonside Highlighter. Very interesting packaging. Okay. Now, okay. So here it is. Beautiful. Okay, and then what the hell? It literally feels so hard pressed. Like, I don't know. Okay. There it is swatched, so that's pretty. It did take a lot with my finger. So I'm wondering if we're going to even be able to get any on the brush. Truthfully, okay, well. We definitely got some on the brush. So let's just see, what happens. Okay. That's not bad. I think it's a really pretty color. Yeah, okay. A little bit here, some here. And then I want to do the inner corner with us because in the palette, we just don't have anything that's lighter than what's on my eyes. So I want to pop this in for like the inner corner right here. I think that works out really pretty. We have this Wet n Wild Twinkle Little Star Glow Mist Setting Spray. Says to shake well, so let's go ahead, let's shake this up and let's see what happens. Okay. Nice and light. It kind of has like a fruity scent. In a way, I almost feel like it smells kind of like grapes, like artificial grape scents. So the only things we have left to do are going to be brows and lips. The brows, I do have this brow pencil. This does take, it takes me a minute to do my brows. So we have two lip options. We have this right here. This is called, does it have the name on it? I think this is macaron. So the one negative is that you don't, oh, it says right up here on the cap. That's where it says. So make sure you keep your cap. So, okay. All right. So we have this one for macaron. Cute. Cute. And then we have deep caramel. This one kind of feels a little bit more scratchy and not as creamy as the other one. Here we go. So this is our two lip options. I think the brown is going to go best. The deep caramel or caramel, however you guys say it. I don't know. I always change how I say it. It's never the same. And I'm going to start outlining my lips. So we have the lips lined, filled in. So then I'm going to take the opposite side. And I'm going to kind of hook us out in the center. Okay. And there's something else that I added that I didn't talk about like at the beginning that I was even going to include, but I feel like it needs it. So we have these from Jacqueline. This is part of her holiday collection. These are the Sweet Glaze Lip Lacquer Kit. You get 3 of them. I paid $39 for these, and it has a retail value of $54. There are 3 shades in here. Now, I know that a lot of people do not like these. They are definitely very sticky, but also to go with that, it does last a long time. Like for this being like a glossy formula, it lasts. Here are the swatches. So we have Nike, we have Baby Doll, and we have Pinched. I'm going to try first taking Pinched. See how all this goes. Kind of going over all of like the dark areas with this. They smell good. So it's kind of like burnt marshmallows. I like that. And then I'm going to go into Nike. Is this Nike or Naked? Oh, no, it's Naked. I thought it was Nike. Anyways. And then just kind of focus that. Like right here. And like the center. I will say these don't feel near as sticky as the ones that she launched last holiday. So if you didn't like how sticky those were, these definitely aren't as sticky. But I think it's a really cute color. I think it goes really, really nicely with this eye look. So then what I'm going to do now is I will go do my brows off of camera. I'll finish up anything else that I need to, so we can come back for the final look and my thoughts ranking the products. Okay, so here's the completed and final look, testing out a ton of new makeup products. What do you guys think? I'm not gonna lie, I'm obsessed. I think everything just like came out so good. Here's an up close of like the skin that we have, forehead, brows, eyeshadow, just everything. I think it looks so good and so pretty. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna rank the products from my least favorite to my most favorite. So in last place is going to be this setting spray. I think it's a great setting spray. It does just like create some glitter on your face. It's not like atrocious. It's not like you're like looking like a disco ball from space or anything like that. It just, as you can tell, does have some of those like little glitter particles in it, which I like other ones that don't necessarily have those glitter particles, such as this from Milani, like the Fruit Fetish. Like those are probably some of my like top favorite setting sprays. Next up is going to be this brow pencil. I think it's okay. I just don't ever feel like some of the brow pencils that I get, when it says black on them, I'm just kind of like, no, like this doesn't match my hair at all. Like it just looks off. So not a huge fan of that. Then we're gonna go in with this She Glam. This blended out so beautifully. It was very easy to put on. Like I had left it on for a little bit and it still blended out like a dream. Like I had no issues with that. I think the thing is as to why it's like a little bit lower. Number one, also a positive about it is I like how cool tone this is for somebody who is as fair as I am. I think this works out perfectly. If you don't like a gray undertone type of contour, you're not gonna like this one, but there are other options. But it does take some building up to really be able to see it, especially with somebody who has super fair skin like me. I feel like this should be no issue trying to like see it. I shouldn't have to build it up, but I do. And then once you put powder over it, it's almost kind of like it just like disappears. It's just like, even like here now, it's just kind of like, where's the contour? Like maybe you could see just like a little bit here, but it's not super obvious. So that was kind of a little bit like disappointing just in that aspect. Next up, also from She Glam, is going to be this Moonside highlighter. I think it's really pretty. This is a Lit From Within. I think what I don't like about it is literally just how hard this feels. And it's so weird to me that it comes out looking so nice, but it feels so hard. I don't know, but like I do think it's like a really nice Lit From Within type of glow. If you're totally into that, I like Lit From Withins here and there. I think it's just like the fact it feels so hard pressed. I don't know why that's like the number one thing that's like driving me nuts about it, but it is. I don't know why. Next up is going to be this iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer. I do think this is nice. Like eventually it does dry down matte, and there is some blurring properties to it, but like when I compare it to like my Winky Lux, my Glow Wish, my Hourglass, this just doesn't compare. So for me, it was kind of like I could have used the money, instead of purchasing this, purchase another, like a backup of one of those. Next up are going to be these She Glams. I really like how the liner is darker than the lip. I think that they're very nice. They're very creamy. You know, they were pigmented. I honestly had no problems, no issues with this at all whatsoever. You know, I like how it's like you got the lip liner and you got the lipstick all in one. You can use just the lip liner, you could use just the lipstick, you can do both. I think it's fantastic, and they're not super drying or anything like that. Next up is going to be this from Persona. This is the little like bubblegum pink. I'm going to say the same thing for the She Glam. It's very, very sheer. This is going to be perfect for those who are maybe wanting to try a little bit more of like intense colors, but are nervous about going overboard, maybe wanting to dabble in some cream, but don't want to go overboard either. This is perfect. Just take some on the back of your hand, take your sponge, stipple it on, and then see that first layer and be like, this is good. I could add more, I could add more, whatever the case may be. So I think this is like very, very beginner friendly. I'm a huge fan. If you're somebody where you like intense blushes right off the bat, that's not going to be it for you. But again, I really think it's a really fun color. It's like a purpley pink, and I'm obsessed with that. I think it's such a beautiful color. Next up are going to be these from Jaclyn. They're the lip lacquers. Last year she came out with some lip lacquers. I think that was the first time she had come out. Was it last year or the year before? When it was like, she came out with like liquid lipsticks, lip liners, the little like things that you put over your eyes, the little eye glazes, things like that. Whatever year that was. Can't remember if it was last year or the year before. She had come out with those, and they were very sticky. They were super, super long lasting, but you could, and your lips would be sticking together. These aren't. These are actually a lot more comfortable. I really like the shades that she chose for these because she could go with like Christmas colors again, but I like that she picked something that's like nude every day that you could just like put on like this. I think it looks so beautiful. It's really nice, really glossy without being sticky. They smell like burnt marshmallows. So if you're not like a fan of scents in your lip products, I don't think you'll like those because they are very, very scented. They are intensely scented. I can still smell the scent of it. So just be mindful, but I love it. I think it's beautiful. Next up is going to be this from Nabla. It's the primer. I really like this. I love how glowy this is. It does have a little bit of sparkle in it. It's not overkill, but I really think it just kept the skin like super beautiful, super radiant. So if you're somebody where you are wanting like a really radiant, glowy base, this is fantastic. It's not heavy. It's not sticky. It doesn't pill up when you start putting foundation on or anything like that. It's so beautiful. If you're in the market for a really glowy primer, this is it. And I love the packaging. I love like the frosted glass. I love how weighted it feels. I love how like the top kind of matches like the product that's inside. They absolutely did wonderful. Also from Nabla is going to be this eyeliner. Okay, this is such an intense black, and it is still perfectly in my waterline. It was easy to just like smudge out. No problems, no issues. I think it looks so good. I really, really like this formula. I do have some other Cupid's arrows, but I want to say I used them for my lips because I had watched somebody using them. I had no idea what these were, and they used it as a like lip liner. So I thought that's what they were. I found out that they're not. Maybe they can be. Maybe they're both, like eyes and lips, but I just feel like putting it on your lips and then your eyes, like that's a lot of bacteria that could mess with your eyes. So this I definitely love for like the liner. The other ones that I have I definitely love is like lip colors because they're like light browns, things like that. So I love those, but I love how intense that is and how well it stays. Also from Nabla, last thing from Nabla is going to be this powder. This powder is so good. I really didn't need to use a lot of it. It was super easy just to get like a little bit on the brush, dust it off, and then again, it just looks so good. It just looks so airbrush. My under eyes don't look bad either. My forehead looks good. Like everything just is looking good. And again, I don't have a filter, so just be mindful of that. Hey. Okay, so next up from She Glam is going to be this foundation. I was so nervous looking at this in the bottle that this was 100% going to be way too dark, way too orange, way too yellow, way too everything, all of the above. I was so nervous. When I pumped it out, it definitely matches my skin, matches my neck. I really love how like hydrating it is. It sank so well into the skin. I did a close-up, like it just sank in so beautifully. It was so hydrating, so radiant. It definitely did all of the claims that it said it would, and I am so impressed, especially for the prices of some of the She Glam stuff. I'm just like, you can get better than that. This is so good as well. I love this. Number one product, are we shocked, is going to be the Give Me Glow Pumpkin Palette. Again, I love the color story, first and foremost. I love that you can do like more neutral, you could do more orange, you could do more colorful, you can mix and match. I will say I love the shimmer options. They're very, very, very beautiful shimmer colors. I love the imprints. I love the formula. I love like the shimmer being like so metallic and beautiful on the lids. I love how blendable, pigmented, you know, how well they work together, all the mattes do. It comes with a really nice mirror. The artwork, again, absolutely stellar, just like absolutely beautiful. Love this so much. I think this is such a great palette, especially if this is a color story that speaks to you, which for me, 1000%, it does. And again, their formula, it just can't be beat. All right, so that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoy testing out some new makeup. If you love people reviewing new makeup, what's good, what's not good, definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell, because I do tons of that here on this channel. So make sure that you guys have definitely also subscribed, click the little bell so you can be notified when I post more. Also, don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up. Go follow me over on Instagram as well. And I will see all of my little dumpster fire babies in the next one. Bye!